Reality Team TV. We're back with another very, very special. I know we usually say very special, but guys, usually I talk fast. I'm gonna slow down and say, this is a very, very special guest, Brenda Kelly King, welcome onto the red chair.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for blessing us with, your amazing presence. And, big up the LV Teddies as well.
LV Teddies.
We see them as well. And yeah, man.
Love these Teddies, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Like I said, thank you for blessing us with your presence.
Happy to be here and thank you for inviting us here.
Oh, good. It's a huge pleasure.
It's been nice. Thank you.
Like what I was talking about, I just want to obviously, even, when you say, like you was the first, obviously, black people in Edmonton, obviously a lot of us have grown up with already seeing Edmonton mixed and all of these things. So even I didn't even ever know. I thought for a very, 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 so long, like it's just all kind of been mixed, and then obviously it got more mixed as time went by. So I've never even thought like, who were the first black people in Edmonton and all of these things.
Yeah.
So even today, you're literally telling me something new that I've never, a piece of history.
It's a bit, it's a bit of history.
Absolutely.
It's a bit of history, and also how we managed to actually get into Edmonton. It's not just moving, it's somebody had to help us get there.
I want us to slowly move a little bit forward. Obviously, maybe some of the things that we forgot to touch on, we'll come back. Sometimes we double back. But I want us to slowly move a bit forward. And honestly, like I've told you in some of our conversations through the DMs on the Instagram, like you see the way you support your son. Big up Mr. Kelly King each and every time. Like, obviously, again, one day I'll tell my full story, whatever, one day. But sometimes through these conversations, I touch on little bits about my private life. And obviously, I don't have the best, I've never had the best relationship with my mom or my dad. So like growing up, when I see people like you, honestly, especially now, we're a bit older, like you see certain things and you understand certain things a bit more, the importance of having a mother next to you, a father. And when I see people like you, honestly, like it just, it's like it just hits you a bit deeper, and you're like, you know what, I know I'm a big man, but I wish I had that kind of relationship with mum. You get me? So it's like going back to how you fully support your kids, how you support Mr. Kelly King. Like, obviously we even had this stigma from obviously black people where it's like a lot, you probably heard it over the years with kids trying to play football, kids trying to do this, but it's like a lot of people, from our community have always came back. Some of us have came back and said, my parents are not supporting because I'm not doing what they want to do. I mean, because I'm not doing what they want me to do, all of these things. Like, for you, like, have you always been like, did you like one day before you had your kids, did you like make a conscious decision to say, you know what, no matter what, when I have my kids, I'm going to support them into what they want to do?
So that is the exact same thing. With our parents, is like, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be someone of professional. So me growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But my dad, he wanted to be a maths teacher. But he didn't want the thought of marking school books and things like that.
If I was a bit
so me and my brother became his pupils. So literally, day and night, he was drumming maths into our head.
Makes sense.
So it literally all the time. And I remember at the age of 7, my dad got out this old maths book, blew the dust off it. And he said, right, today you're going to learn algebra. I'm 7. We're just learning about adding up. And he said, you're going to have to learn it at some point. So better you learn it now. So literally all I knew from growing up was maths. Maths. Yeah. We couldn't sit there and watch telly. From the time we sit there and watch telly, my dad said, get the maths book, get the blackboard, a big giant blackboard he would drag from in the garage. And it was like, right. And we were like, and because he's Jamaican, he would say, his way of teaching, he'll be like, that plus that times that, multiply by that. And we'll be like, wait a minute, you said times, you said multiply. Doesn't that mean the same thing? Listen, and he'll be like, don't get too smart. He'll say, take away that, subtract that. I'll be like, wait a minute. You said that means the same thing. So we used to kind of end up argument. Oh, you're backtracking me now. You're talking back to me now. I'll be like, but Dad, like, 2 + 3. And we're like, no, it's 3. What? Oh, God. So it was literally a battle.
Yeah.
And then his way of, right, we're going to do mental maths. Right? So you're going to be quick. That plus that times that, multiply by that, take away by. And we had to think. But it helped us because we realised, okay, he wasn't getting it. But we knew when he said take away and subtract, it literally meant the same thing.
Yeah.
So we, instead of now arguing with him, we kind of like, actually, we know what he means. When he says time that, then multiply by that, actually, you're meaning the same thing. So that was drummed into us from early. So it's like, that's all we knew. Maths. So what can I do when I leave school? I guess I'm going to have to be an accountant then. So it was forced upon us. So then, when I'm growing up, like, my kids are not going through this. My kids are going to choose whatever career paths that they want to go into. They're not coming into another country. They're already born here.
Exactly.
So they don't need to prove themselves that, we are here, we are worthy here. This is their country, they are born here.
Yeah.
So that was like my own personal decision that I'm not going to put the kids through what they went through. Exactly. Let them have that freedom, because at the end of the day, it's their life.
Of course.
They should be able to choose whatever career paths. I didn't, because I was just drummed in maths day and night. I would be in my dream, like that plus that times that. I would, so that's all I knew. That was all I knew.
Maths. Maths.
So yeah, it was a conscious effort that my
yeah.
kids are not going to go for that. If my kids say I want to be a dustbin, as my dad said, my dad used to say, you know what? If you're going to be a dustbin man, be the best dustbin man. Be the best at what you can do.
Yeah.
And so for my son there, Mr. K, he was like, yeah, I want to go into music.
Yeah.
I was like, this is such a hard thing to get into. This is such a hard path. But it's like, that was his passion.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what he wanted to do. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to have to support you. He went to college. He went to uni. But then after that, tried to get a job. Send out CVs, applications form, recording studios, record labels, and nothing. And in the end, he turned around and said, you know what? I can't get a job in music. I'm not working. And I said to him, you've got to work, regardless. We would all have our dream job,
of course,
but that's not possible. So he thought that if he gets another job, he would lose his passion for music. Somehow that would deteriorate because he's focusing on the job. Literally he said, no, unless I get a job in a recording shop, I'm not working.
To be fair, that happens to a lot of people as well, and I feel like even sometimes when I have conversations with certain people, this is why I always pray to God that, please God, keep me on this path, regardless of what I'm doing with my work, whatever. But please, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
And please, like, whichever way you're gonna bless me, please just keep me on this path until it makes sense. Because, over the years, honestly, Brenda, over the years, I think all of us can agree to this. We've seen so many people give up on their dreams,
right?
Or so many people, get caught up with, working, maintaining, paying bills, and then
right,
you know what I mean. And then before you know,
time's gone,
and they're looking back and they're saying, "Oh my God," you got to understand. So with your son, I could understand what when he said that. Why he was scared in terms of going too far into those kind of industries.
Right.
Because we've seen so many people being being swallowed up by retail, all of these things, and then before you know, it's they're in their mid-40s or early 50s, and they're actually not really happy as they should be, because they didn't really take that risk to stick with it somehow. So I get where your son was coming from.
You get drawn in, but at the same time, it's so he went for years. No, I'm not working. I said, well, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I said to him, you're not going to lose once you've got your passion. It's not going to go away. Yeah. That's not going to stop you. So literally, I had to sit down and say to him, but okay. So I had to flip the script, do it in a way he'd understand. I said, okay, so you want to do music? Yeah, okay. So you want to go recording studio? Yeah. So where are you going to get the money from? to go record in studio. Okay, so you make all these beats and all this kind of thing. So now you want to do video shoots. Where's the money going to come from? Oh, okay. So now you need to get a job to pay for these things, to pay for your passion.
Yeah,
so that's now is like, okay, yeah, I get it. So then literally that's all he does. Literally works for his music. And that's what keeps him going. You know, but I understand, and that's his life.
Of course.
You know, and that's his life. And I'm like, well, if that's your life, then I have to support you on your journey. You know, regardless. And I'm not saying has it all been all roses, because
It's reality.
you've got peer pressure.
Of course.
You've got the friends. They're like, you don't have to do that. What are you listening to your mum for? You're a big man.
But they don't understand.
You know, they don't understand. And this is the thing. And it's sort of, you know, you're literally holding on to your child, fighting with the world. And, you know, there's times, when he's gone off and like, you know what? Sometimes I have to take a step back. You have to find out for yourself. And I always say to my kids, like, go and do what you do. Go follow your path or whatever. I'm still going to be here.
Of course.
Because at the same time, you have to learn by your mistakes.
Bingo. Yeah, 100%.
You have to learn. As much as people might say, you're mothering him or you're muddy-colouring him and all that kind of thing. And then I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. But just let you know, if it goes wrong,
you're still there.
I'm still here. And this is what I don't like about a lot of parents.
See, I never got that. I wish I would have had that type.
A lot of parents, they're on this tough love.
Yeah.
Because I struggled in life, my child has to struggle, and I don't believe life itself is a struggle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't see why I should inflict that on my kids.
Well, my dream just got knocked down. I told them what they wanted to do, and they just knocked it down.
No, you see.
There was always like, well, you need this.
No.
Like, I'd say, well, okay, I want to be like, say, I want to be like an animationist. Well, you can't. It's gonna be hard for you because not too many black people do it.
Yeah.
Plus, you need to be good at computers. You need certain things. Like, okay, I want to be like an illustrator.
Right.
Oh, you can't do this because of that. Like, there was always something that they were knocking down.
Yeah.
But when it was their thing, it was alright for them.
Right.
No one told them that. Like, my uncle was a producer.
Yeah.
My nan, she did
That's
her
it.
dressmaking. But when it came to my thing, in terms of drawing and being creative, it's like, why is there always an excuse?
I think that's so wrong, because this is another thing. There's a lot of talented people out there, guys out there, and you find that you've got this talent, like you said, illustrate, you've got this talent, and might be a white person there, and they come along, you see them on TV, you see them famous, and you're like, you can just sit back and, wow, that could have been me, you know, and this is the thing I don't like about us black people, you know, which have talent, and it's hidden talent. You know, I'm not going to about your talent if you tell me. There's no point are you going to be showing me your drawings, because it's all kept hush-hush. It's all kept under wraps. Nobody's going to know. And I think that's wrong. Because, you know, as I said, in England now, no matter what anybody does, it's praised. No matter how small it is, well done. You know, they've got the support, but we're not doing that for our own. You know, so for my son now, he's like, I don't care what you're gonna do. Like, if music's your passion, then I might not like half the thing. I might not understand half the things you're talking about, but I will support you on certain things. 100%, you know, and one thing that sort of touched my heart, you know, as a teenager, teenagers go through their phases and things like that. And I remember I met up with my friend Claudette, who was on Edmonton High Street, and she's talking about her child doing this and doing that, and I'm saying about, he's not doing this. And this woman walked past, and she said to me, "You're lucky you have a child to moan about." So I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "You're lucky you have a child to moan about." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "My son got stabbed a couple weeks ago. His best friend got shot a month ago. Another friend into drugs, is in some mental home. And she said, I walk past you and hear you moaning about your son because he never put something back. So I was like, wow.
It's like God send that person in that.
I was like, wow. She said, you're lucky. Yeah, I would love to have my son here today to moan to him. Well, you didn't put that back in the fridge for, you know? And I was like, you're right. That was a reality check for me.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, you're right. Would it matter what job he was doing? Like, you just want your son alive. You know, you literally, it doesn't matter if he wants to go uni, wants to go to, he's alive. And she said to me, you're lucky. If I want to see my son, I have to go to the graveside. That really touched home for me, and, you know, doing things for my kid. I'm like, yeah. And that is another thing of the stabbings and the shootings and this. It is a lot. It is a lot. And I said that, especially for the young black guys, it's the struggle just to survive.
Yeah.
Let alone have a job. It's just to survive is massive. And that's what she brought a reality check to me that day. She said, you're moaning about you never put that back. You're lucky. No, I can't do that. You know, so yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Like over the years, that, you know, obviously London, you know, knife crime, especially for young black men. Obviously, you know, men from different backgrounds as well. But right now we're just talking about our own, right? Our, you know, like young black men. Like over the years, have you thought about like moving outside of London? You know, like in terms of like raising your son. Like, have you ever like thought about maybe
no,
like, moving
because
outside
it's
London?
like you're moving into another situation again. Everybody moves down. Everybody, so you'd be moved down to Enfield, then you move down to Harlow, and it's like, do I really want to get caught up in another situation? I already know what situation I'm in Edmonton. Yeah, as much as it might not all be rosy and nice, but I kind of know what I'm up against here.
Exactly.
You know, whereas now we go into another area, mad things are happening. You know, and it's like, well, we kind of know the area that we're in. We might not be happy with it, but we know the area that we're in. You know, so yeah, the thought of moving wasn't really.
It wasn't.
No, because you move somewhere, you're just in just another situation.
This is it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Even just in general, just raising that, you know, like obviously one, like we said about all of the crimes and all of these things, like there's a lot of parents who, I don't know, maybe are looking for different ways to protect their kids, you know, raising like young black men in these, you know, like in London with all of these things going on and all of that, like you said earlier, like you've had to kind of like at certain points you've had to take like a step back and you know, like let your son, you know, make his own mistakes and come back to you. Like going back, like when obviously he was young, you know, because obviously now he's, you know, you can tell he's in a zone, he knows what he wants and he's going for it and he's proper focused and he's got good people around him as well, which is so beautiful to see. Like when he, obviously, because obviously I don't know if you've ever seen our conversation. I interviewed him obviously, you know, before, and he spoke about quite a few things that he's been through, like in his early teenage years and whatever. Like when he was going through that kind of that stage of like, you know, like just finding himself maybe doing that, like did you always, you know, like as a mother, like, you know, that some mothers pray, do all of these things, like do you used to sometimes, like a lot of times, do you used to sit down with him, do you used to make like an attempt to kind of, you know, like have certain conversation with him and all of that, like as a mother, like how when he was going through
there was a lot of
these things,
there was a lot of talking, and obviously my mum, she's a retired priest. So it was good that he had the church side of things. And so, but the thing is with him, you know, his dad was in and out of his life. But so me and my mum was like, he's playing up, he's a teenage now, he's doing this and doing that. And he kept saying to us, I don't know why you're bothering. I don't know why you're talking to me. I don't know why you're sitting down. Because a woman can't raise a man. And we was like, we didn't get it. You know, a woman can't raise a man. And we was like,
did he say that to you?
Yeah. He's like, I don't know why you're sitting there and talking to me. Because you're trying to raise me into a man, but you as a woman can't do that. A man needs to raise me into a man. But it's like, obviously, your dad's not really around that much. So we're going to do the best we can. We're going to do the best we can. And it was always that, I don't know if you see that there's a picture somewhere where a guy's walking down the street and there's someone's like, they're about to hit him over the head. And then there's one and then there's another one that's about to stab him. And then there's someone that's about to shoot him. And then next to the picture, you got the grandma by the side of the bed praying. And then the caption is, you survived because of your grandma's prayers. I truly believe that. I truly believe in praying, and back in the day, the ancestors, and that is what we was brought up on. There was a bad situation. It's like, the English people will say, oh, let's have a cup of tea. There's a drama. We have a cup of tea. Yeah. Like, for us, it's like, yeah, we need to pray. And I swear 100%, that's praying got him out of a lot of situations.
Yeah, he's blessed.
Because even through those bad times, my mum would just like, something's going on, and I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to pray through the night. And I'm like, oh, come on. Like, I'm going to pray through the night. And, it's that near misses. But I truly believe it's because of prayer that got him through that. 100%. A lot of people don't. I'm not one to preach. A lot of people don't believe in God and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
But I 100% believe that.
I totally understand that. I grew up in Tokyo.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, like, one of my mums, she still does it.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel a way because. At times I used to think, why is my mum's light always on?
That's right.
But it's only as I got older,
I
realised what she was doing.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand it because then she'll come back and she'll say certain things. Like, she'll get like certain visions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you already know? Like,
right.
But it's because of what she was doing.
Right.
During the night, she was putting in the...
Yeah.
And we were just there, just living a life of life.
I know, just going about, and it's true. It's true. Sometimes Mum will say, like, tell him not to go out tonight. I was like, I can't tell him, and he'll go out. Something will happen. She was like, I told you.
Crazy.
And he was going through certain situations, and she was like, I've got a feeling something bad is going to happen this week. And I was like, no, he'll be all right. Just let him do his thing, but he'll be all right. And I remember my car broke down that day, and I was driving past North Middlesex Hospital, and as I drove past the hospital, I went, and I was like, what's happened? And then as I got to the next bus stop, I got a phone call. Your son's been stabbed. And I was like, yeah. And so my mum already had a premonition. Already had a premonition, and went there. School uniform is literally in shreds. It's in shreds.
And this was when I was in school. Yeah,
this was in school. But the thing about it, and like as we said, peer pressure. Yeah. When things kicked off, it's like you have gangs, one set of gang there, one set, they're coming together. Yeah. When you look round, you stand there by yourself. Friends have gone. And this is what I keep saying to him. Like, people say, oh, my friends are my family. My friends are your family. They're not your family. Only when things come to blow, you know who your family is. This is it. You know who's there for you. And unfortunately, he had to find out the hard way. Like, when you look around you, there's nobody there.
Yeah, I think my mom, she made sure that I got rid of them. Yeah. Because she told me, like, listen, you see, once you finish school and you start going into college, start getting into your adult years, these guys that you see are with you now, they're not going to be there with you. Right. Like, it's only slowly but surely I started seeing certain things. Yeah. I cut them off because obviously, like, some were actually rude to my mum, and like got to the point where my brother, he had to come and tell me. Right. And I'm like, oh, no, not this now. Right. So in the end, when I look back on it now, some actually passed away. This is it. There's a lot of past. There's a lot of them that have passed. A lot. You know, and it's literally, like I said, when this woman said to me, that was a wake up call for me. You know what? I should be appreciating my son, not worrying about because he left the milk out or didn't put it away. Like, you know, I should be like, he's alive. Exactly. You know, he is alive. Yeah.
I want to go back to you personally. You know, like your your journey. You know, like starting off obviously when you was a bit younger, and you know, trying to work your way through.
Right.
You know, this reality, this life that we're living.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, like, what did you like? Obviously, you told us, you know, you was an accountant before. You know, but you know, like trying to go back a little bit, like, you know, like in your teenage years, or even maybe like in your, you know, late 20s or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, is there any other things that you also like wanted to do, or other things that you've done before, that you've done, you know, like in your...
Well, not really,
early
because we was literally following our parents' lead.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make our parents happy.
Of course.
So literally, my mum obviously on a Sunday will be playing the gospel music and things like that, or she'll be playing a classical music for us to educate ourselves.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really be how we was, and it was literally the other day when I said to my son, turn it to this radio station, and there was Bashment playing, and I was like, this is my music. I was like, what? Don't be so silly.
Yeah.
I said, this is my music. She said, no, Brenda. The gospel music and the classical music, that's your... And I said, and I literally, as big as I am, I said to her, Mum, like, I've always loved this music. I just couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. And she's like, no, that's for the yubbos, that's for this, that's for that.
Yeah.
And I said, it doesn't change me as a person.
Exactly.
I'm still who I am.
Yeah.
I just so happen to love this music.
Yeah.
But she didn't get it. She didn't get it. And I said, this is why I didn't tell you all these years, because you don't get it. You're still stuck in that zone that, you know, this is for the, you must like that music, you must be on drugs, you must be on this, it's only the... And I'm like, no, I just like it.
It sounds like my mum.
You know, I literally just like this music. I'm still the same person.
Exactly, yeah.
So growing up, we didn't feel that we could be how we wanted to be.
Yeah.
Or you say free speech.
Free.
So it's like you're still restricted. So that's where, like, I'm happy my kids, like, you kids do what you want to do. Like, you go live your life. You go be who you are.
Exactly,
You know, at least you all know who you are.
Now, did you feel like at some way, like, they were trying to mold you into how they wanted you to be?
Oh yeah.
Because I got that.
Yeah.
With like my own parents, and it was quite hard because I want to say something, but out of respect.
Right, you couldn't. You couldn't. And the thing is, I get it, because their journey was different. Yeah, and I get it for them, but they wanted us to follow their journey, and it's wrong. So I have an open relationship with my kids. My kids can talk to me about anything, you know, and mum was like, oh, you shouldn't be talking to you. I was like, why? It's life. Things happen, you know, but they more shied away. They weren't so open, you know, and that is another thing that I learned from that. I'm not going to, even just saying to your kid, I love you. Our parents, they weren't so giving with the word love.
That's a good thing.
You know, they wasn't so free with that.
The last time I even heard
this is the thing
of their mouth.
This is the thing. It was never said. It's like, you know, and even growing up, like, why do you have to be on this? You can show a bit of emotion. You can show, you know, you can use those words. You know, so literally show some affection. Yeah. You know, a hug or whatever. But it was always like, oh no, you have to toughen up. You have to be. This is the world we're living in. Yeah, so I was told about that. Literally for me, it's hard. You know,
well, even that logic itself, thinking about it, if outside is hard and they're gonna treat you like this, and it's gonna be difficult for you, shouldn't you make? Soon as the person comes inside the house, shouldn't you make that place like, you know, comfort, like with love and all of these things? Because outside already the world is already hard enough. Right. So why would I come back home and you're still giving me tough love too? Right. That doesn't make sense to me to a certain degree, right? No. Because that's the way even